Hey guys, welcome back to Phoenix Films. Today we're going to watch episode 5 of season 1 of Attack on Titan. I'm pretty excited. Last episode was ended off on a pretty big note. So yeah, I'm super excited for the next one. I don't really think I have any housekeeping to take care of today, so I'll move straight onto the discussion. Kind of the things I've mulled over from last time. One thing that was pointed out to me is that I pronounced some of the names wrong. Jean is pronounced Jean, and Mikasa is pronounced Mikasa. Mikasa. So I'll try to remember that. So last time Hannes is alive, I guess why I thought he was dead is he's on the rooftop. It's 100 kilometers. I assume that you don't have 100 kilometers of gas in your three-dimensional gear, and you can't outrun Titans. So he must have got another boat, or like horses. I don't know. Are Titans faster than Titans? I guess the Survey Corps is all mounted, I think. So I mean, we've only really seen in episode 1 horses versus Titans, but it was in the forest, so it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Hannes is part of how the word got out, like runners to neighboring towns and things. So how do you end up as the drill sergeant or in the training corps, where like the people who are helping in the training, the other recruits? Because I mean, they give you 3 options, right? You get garrison, survey corps, and military police. There wasn't the recruiting or the training corps. So where are these people coming from? I guess, I don't know, other branches. So now it's been 4 to 5 years since we've seen Grisha, and the name drop was like 2 episodes ago. So Chekhov's gun says that we have to use his name. So like, I assume he's coming back. I mean, it's like his son's graduation, right? So whatever he's doing is more important than Aaron's graduation. Yeah, I don't know. He's somewhere. I mean, literally the last time we saw him was in Aaron's dream memory. Oh yeah, the specials, at least the colossal, the lightning teleporting kind of reminded me of Pokemon, when the Pokemon come out of the Pokeballs and it's like the red like lightning and then they materialize. I think this teleporting thing is fantasy. Yeah, machines and biology don't really or any physical explanation don't really make sense to me. And the lightning kind of corresponds to the armored titans, like glowing eyes. I think they're both yellow. Last time I was wondering what the plans are to deal with the armored, and I was thinking that I don't think they even know that the armored is unpierceable by cannons, because I don't think any of the people who saw that survived. Hannes was on the other side of the wall, so he would have heard the cannons, but he wouldn't have like seen the shells land on the armored titan. So maybe they think they can deal with it with cannons. Maybe they have some kind of trap, or maybe there's going to be like weak spots or something. Yeah, again, for the why today thing, I think another possible explanation is in the past year, the Titans have completed their search, if there was a search, and they've waited to this day, graduation, when there's a lot of troops concentrated, to attack. So it's kind of like Pearl Harbor-ish, to knock out more military at once. I don't know. And we've seen the cannons. The cannons they have, I think they mentioned their new cannons. The ones that we have now are breech loaded, which means you can open up the rear and put your shells in and close it, which is 1850s, 1860s very much US Civil War era technology, and this is the beginning of rifled cannon. The first rifled cannons are developed around this time, I think. Yeah, so the opening credits suggest we're going to have a battle, and I'm kind of wondering what the order of battle will be. Order of battle means, in a military sense, means what is the command structure, the troop count, the equipment they have available, the strategy, how the deployment is organized, the objective of the soldiers, etc. Kind of all these things are included in order of battle. And it seems like at the lowest level, the soldiers are organized into squads. I'm wondering if there's like platoon, company structure. And I'm especially curious about the deployment. I'm thinking that the garrison has most likely trained for how they're going to deploy, since they've prepared the gate, the defenses around the gate. So I imagine they have trained how they're going to deploy. And I'm thinking, is this kind of like a front line with individual squads supporting each other, or is it like kind of like a solid wall of troops kind of interspersed? And I think we've only seen 2 ranks so far, Commander and Captain. Commander Irwin and Captain Levi were mentioned last time, and I don't think we've heard any other ranks. And I haven't noticed like any rank insignias, and there wasn't any separation in the choosing ceremony between like non-commissioned officers and everyone else, for example. But Aaron in the last episode, like I don't know, it seemed like he was taking command of the cannon cleaning team squad. So is he an NCO? Final topic of the order of battle is whether the recruits are going to be deployed together in a unit rotation, or if they're going to be mixed into existing formations. Militaries have done both historically. The unit rotation has generally higher casualties, but higher team cohesion, versus being mixed into existing formations. You generally will have fewer casualties because you'll have less green people altogether in the same unit. But you'll also have lower cohesion because people will just have joined their squads. Yeah, so I guess that'll be interesting to see. Alright, so some main points from last time. Like chronologically through the episode, first we had the grading. We've got some new names. Bertolt's last name is Hoover, and Mikasa's last name is Ackerman. I remembered. We have Annie Leonhardt, the blonde Mikasa-like girl who's a loner. And in the grading sequence, we see that Titan necks are specifically targeted on the dummies, the wooden dummies. Next, we go to the martial training, which I'm super surprised isn't graded. I don't think Armin's reason is satisfying enough for me. But we see Eren has like another vision thing again, or memory or whatever, of a boy. Annie lays the smackdown on Eren and Reiner, but Reiner knows about her PTSD, I believe, and she was trained by her father. She's kind of nihilist. I'm wondering if she's like a revolutionary. Alright, then we have dinner. Armin explains why the top 10 get to go. It's like to prevent knowledge loss and to motivate the people. And then there's Eren versus Jean and the speech of "Can cowards even call themselves soldiers" by Eren. Then we have the choosing. We learn about the military police a little bit more. So the 218 cadets get to choose. And the military police has like a unicorn symbol. Serves the king, leads the people, protects the order. And then we have, top 10. There's all the characters we've been introduced to. And then we have Krista name drop. Krista is kind of Christ. She was a goddess last episode, 2 episodes ago. Alright, then we have dinner 2. Eren argues with Thomas this time, and Eren thinks we shouldn't waste the lives it took to get here. And this kind of seems to convince most people. And Eren, Mikasa, and Armin have their little Wish Upon a Star episode outside. We get a brief glimpse of the Survey Corps leaving. Commander Irwin, Captain Levi, and the Survey Corps is now respected. And everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone was mounted. So it kind of reminds me of like the Polish winged hussars, like light cavalry. Yeah, and then we have Captain Hannes, now captain, and Aaron forgives him, which is kind of like a heartwarming moment. We have the cannon cleaning, and we see that Connie and Thomas are both impacted by Aaron's argument. So I assume that's going to be a lot of other people too. And then we have the finale of the episode, not of the season, but of the episode. We have the Colossal teleport in via lightning, and I thought the double meaning was kind of neat. So Aaron is like, "Today our counterattack begins," but it's actually the enemy's counterattack, I guess. Anyway, so we've already lost one of the food miners, Samuel, and the front gate. I actually kind of wondered. It's kind of lucky that Samuel got knocked out and saved by getting his leg pierced, because now he doesn't really have to fight because he's injured. Therefore, he'll be safe from dying, I assume. Anyway, we're now preparing for battle. We've reached the point of the opening credits with wall smashing. So questions and predictions. Big one, why is martial ability not scored? Is it because there's a very low crime rate within the walls? There's no infighting? Maybe. How does Reiner know about Annie's PTSD event? Why is the military police's insignia a unicorn? And why do they have such an awful name for being the Royal Guard? I'm also curious if they have special uniforms. Why are people targeting the Titans' necks? Will we get to harness the power, the like lightning teleport power? Will our side get to as well, or is it only for the enemies that get the fantasy powers like in Game of Thrones? How will we deal with the Colossal and the wall destruction? Will he shrink again? I don't think he'd shrink, because I feel like that would make him vulnerable. Will he stay and fight in the city? And how are they going to deal with him? Because I mean he's massive. Like, would cannons be enough to take him out? And then predictions. I think Annie is kind of a setup for the later political intrigue, maybe revolution. I get like a lot of French Revolution vibes. And I think we're back to the point of Carnage, like the first episode. So I'm at, my prediction is the 3 food miners, or the 2 other ones, plus Armin, I think are going to die. Yeah, and then finally, the weakness / cattle food theme, I think can go one of 2 ways. And I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Either our characters with their new power overcome this theme and we rise above it, or we double down and re-emphasized how humans are weak in cattle. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go. I'm really excited. Reminder to check the description for the edited version if this is the full length. And the title of this new episode is Episode 5, First Battle, Battle of Trost. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into this next one. For copyright issues, I'm trying to test different editing methods and what is acceptable on YouTube. So if this is the full-length version, find a link to the edited version down below. This is the edited version. I'll put a link to the full length. Anyway, enjoy.
突然現れた超大型巨人および鎧の巨人によって
Hey, does it yellow eyes?
全ての日常がそれはチャンスだ絶対にやった
Oh boy. Man, I'm so hyped for this. Battle of Trost. Oh man, we're getting right into it.
こいつ固定砲を狙いやがった 開閉扉を狙ったのも偶然じゃない。しかしチャンスだ。壁を破壊できるのはこいつだけ。
Get him, Aaron! There's no way you can kill him right now, right? Is he like blowing? What? There's no lightning this time. There's like nothing there. Oh my god. Can it teleport anywhere? Alright, this is what the garrison's prepared for. Yeah, this is like just like episode 1, huh? Got a net plus cannons. Wait, why are they running into it? Just shoot more. Jesus. Oh no. That was the plan? They have 5 years to do that? What? His like head blown off. Oh man. He's saying that right after we just see tons of bodies. Wow. They're already wiped out. Like it's a choke point. Come on boys, hold the choke point. Commander. Man, this guy's an old geezer. What is that quote? Be wary of old men and young men's or young men die young. Jesus. This is the classism.
ご安心ください、公爵。実際の戦で巨人が相手ならば、司令が手心を加える必要はございませんので。予算か。
Oh, there is like little rank things on the jacket. Fence in depth. Neutralize? Like everyone? The guy's like... Didn't he just say they're all whipped out? Yeah, I imagine it'd be pretty easy to desert with that gear. Run away pretty fast. It's the girl. Krista.
死亡だから、いつでも巨人の餌になる覚悟はできてんだろうがよ。俺は明日から内地行きだったんだぞ。落ち着け。落ち着け。
Now Aaron's Titan food.
違う。思い出せ。俺たちがシェドウを吐いた3年間を。
Beach number 4?
俺たちは何度も死にかけた。住民の近くに一人でも多くの精鋭が必要だ。しかし。おい。いい加減にしろミカサ。 お前までおたついてんじゃねえ。
Turning the
滅亡の危機だぞ。何てめえの勝手な都合を押し付けてんだ。
hit from episodes ago. And she just like listens to him.
一つだけ頼みがある。どうか死なないで。
Jesus, that's like the fourth time someone said that to him. And he just like doesn't listen to her.
俺は残された歴史文
Oh
献
boy.
巨人の発生原因は記されておらず不明な点がほとんどである
Armin and two food
現
miners.
在明らかになっている巨人の生態などは調査兵団の最新の報告書によるものである生殖器は存在せず繁殖方法などは不明だがほとんどが男性のような体つきであるその体は極端に高温で難解なことに
It's like the
人間以
smoke.
外の生物には一切の関心を示さない
No other animals. Yeah. Okay, zombies.
そもそも巨人が人間のいない環境下で100年以上存在していることを考えると食事をとること自体必要ないものであると推測でき
Or
る
they're eating somewhere else.
昔から人類は大砲の技術を有してはいたが
Since antiquity.
亡くなった頭部は 1,2 分ほどで元通りになってしまう
What?
巨人を倒す方法は一つ
The next? What about the next though?
巨人はこの部分を大きく損傷すると再生することなく絶命する だから肉を削ぎ落とすために
They just like randomly figure that out? How do you randomly figure that out? Oh man, I'm so nervous.
調査兵団に入団する前にはこの初陣で活躍しとけば俺たちは新兵にしてスピード昇格間違いなしだ
Optimistic.
間違
Rubbing
いない。
off.
34班前進前衛の戦術家よし行くぞ
They not have a commander? And putting all the rookies together? Like, no. I would have imagined there'd be like one garrison guy with them. That's pretty sick. And are they like just like running forward? They're like a front line? Jesus. 30 seconds in. It's food miner number 2. Damn. He was probably the most developed of them. Thought he was over this. Didn't you just say like last episode he's over the 2 episodes ago? Jesus! Like a minute in! Oh my god. Oh my god. Losses. Armin 2.
どうして僕の体が動かないんだ。
Did he kill off everyone? He's still alive. Not in shock yet. Flashbacks.
それっていけないものなんだろ憲兵団に捕まっちまうぞ
そんなこと言ってる場合じゃ
Military
ないんだ。
police.
この本によると、この世界
All the way out
海
here?
っていう水で覆われているんだって。
This is Shiganshin
海
home.
は全部塩水なんだって。きっと外の世界はこの壁の中の何倍も広いんだ。
外の世界
This is Armin's original dream.
なんだけど、お父さんとお母さんはね、今度外の世界に行くんだって。
So they're still alive. I think they died, right? How did he get over here? Jeez. Jesus. She has no idea. Oh man. Yeah, that was really that was the double down on the weakness thing. Oh man. Armin's by himself. Everyone else? I think everyone else is dead in his crew. Man, they just like they didn't put any garrison like people with them. That's what happens. That's what I said. Unit rotation has high casualty rates. Oh man. They just killed Aaron. I guess Armin's dead too then, huh? Probably. It's like by himself. Surrounded by Titans. And then the ending has Mikasa by herself. Oh, is that like her remembering him? Is she gonna be like our only surviving trio? Oh, no previews. Wow. Oh man, they're just like Garrison had the choke point and they held it for like what? A couple hours? If that? Damn. Titans are strong, yo. Oh man, they just died like so fast. Just everyone's just dead. Oh man. Man. Mikasa's gonna be just like she's gonna be like devastated. Maybe we'll see her like Armin and Aaron both dying. If we don't see emotion out of her now, we'll never see it, huh? I guess I could see her being our like new protagonist. This is like the Red Wedding of Attack on Titan. Episode 5. Guess it's more akin to Sean Bean. All right, I'll be back in a bit. All right, yeah, I've had some time to process that one. It was a little wild there at the end. Tonally, that episode felt like a continuation of episodes 1 and 2. Very, very doom and gloom, and really quadrupling down on the humans are weak theme by killing everyone. How do they make it so that the end of each episode seems like somehow crazier or as crazy as the last one? I don't know, it's just wild. Yeah, I guess those are my impressions. It's gonna do the chronology. Alright, so we open with Aaron versus the Colossal Titan. Special Titans are confirmed as intelligent, I think, while the other Titans are still considered dumb, as explained later. So I think the Colossal had both feet on the ground, so he didn't like kick in the gate. So I'm thinking it's the steam explosion that like pushes Aaron back. I think that's kind of like what the Colossal did to the gate. Like the big bad wolf blowing the house down, and on the inside are the little piggies to be devoured. I think that fits kind of thematically too. But the Colossal did not bust down the walls like in the opening Is this because Eren is attacking and that would somehow throw a wrench into it? I don't know. So I don't think the Colossal shrank like it seemed to in episode 1. I think it teleported out with like no lightning. So maybe only teleporting in does the lightning. It's kind of like landfall or something. But I mean, if it could teleport, then it could just teleport anywhere it wants, right? Presumably. Although maybe there's some kind of magic that the walls have that doesn't allow teleportation within the confines, and maybe that has to be disabled in some way. So that's what the Titans have been doing, disabling the first wall's magic defense. I don't know. Still though, like, why is it today? So it's like not Eren's key because Eren's eaten, so that's not their goal. I guess my guesstimate is we have the graduation, which is like the concentration of garrison and trainees, so it's kind of like Pearl Harbor. Plus we have the Commander Pixis, he's missing, and the Survey Corps is out. So those are kind of the things that are happening. But if those are kind of reasons why the Titans are attacking now, then the Titans would have had to have gotten that information somehow. I guess my thought is that there's some kind of human informant, and if the specials are intelligent, then they like somehow made a deal with their informant, maybe for their survival or their family's survival or something. I think that fits for the selfish versus selfless theme. Yeah, I don't know. That's my guess, I guess. All right, so then we go on to the evacuation. We have the crowds running just like in episodes 1 and 2. We have the garrison trying to direct people just like the boat scene in episode episode 2. Then we have the defense of the gate choke point. I'm really confused why they're not still manning the gate cannons, because I feel like those are out of reach of the Titans, so they could just, you know, continually be shelling until they run out of ammo. I imagine they have more ammo than the few shells we watched them shoot and then charge in. Why did the guys charge in? Because if you charge in, then you can't shoot your cannons down because your own people are there. You can't friendly fire. Seems really weird. Maybe the ammo stock was destroyed along with the gate. I don't know. But yeah, once they lost the choke point, this city is just, you know, it's kind of over. If I were commanding, I would put nearly everything I have into holding the choke point until the evacuation is nearly complete, and then have an easy retreat along the walls, or at the very least, funneling all the Titans down like one street instead of having them all over the place. You can kind of concentrate your forces better that way, perhaps. We see Hannah and Franz, the only couple, kind of consoling each other, and then we have like Armin shaking, and him shaking was like signifying that, like, from 85% of Armin dying to, you know, like 95% sure he's gonna die. But he does explain about this big rock near the gate, and they didn't dig it up in the 5 years that they had. Like, seems really weird. Why wouldn't they like have moved it closer? Doesn't really make sense to me. And then Eren says that the humans won't be defeated anymore right after we see a scene with the advanced guard of the garrison being wiped out. The show is pretty much telling us how this is about to go. Then we flash over to the estate with Marquis Bart. The flag behind him kind of looked like the military police, like a unicorn, but I think it's just a horse. But it did kind of seem reminiscent. But of all the noble titles Like you have like dukes and barons and princes, etc. They chose Marquis, which is the French sounding title. So, I mean, this French Revolution is, I think the evidence is building for it. I kind of like that. I think it fits in a lot of ways into what we have so far. Then we have Commander Pixis, High Commander of the Southern Region. He likes his drinks. He's got a flask. And I was trying to say this quote during the reaction. Beware of an old man in a profession where men usually die young. That's kind of the quote I was thinking of. You know, Pixis is this old, seemingly distinguished. He actually had rank, like ribbons. I assume he has some kind of, it seems he's kind of politically intelligent to cultivate this relationship with the Marquis so well. Another thing I noticed is that the Marquis, the nobles, have like extremely different clothing than anything we've seen so far. There's like ruffles in the sleeves and like all fancy colors, and lots of layers. I was thinking that this classism is very reminiscent of aristocracy, French aristocracy, and their attitude would definitely make people want to have a revolution. Then we have the info sheets. We have fixed cannons, anti-Titan weapons in existence before the invention of three-dimensional maneuver gear, placed on the walls and modified for defensive purposes, and the grape shot and HE. Whatever, they have cannons. Cannons are cannons. Alright, then we have the HQ, where our recruits are to resupply, relay, and kill Titans under the garrison's command. While the garrison is sent in as a vanguard, we have the trainees plus garrison supply team in the middle guard, and then the elites in the rear. It's very much reminiscent of the Roman maniple system, where you have the Hastati in front, which are the new young men, the Principes, depending if you want Latin or not, in the middle, which are fairly experienced, moderately experienced soldiers, and then in the rear you have the Triarii, who are the elite. They're the Pixis, the old men in a profession where men die young. There's this saying, it comes down to the Triarii for the Romans, the early Romans, that's like, shit hits the fan, we have to fight to the last, comes down to the Triarii. And then we have this this awful speech by this garrison leader, commander. I don't know his rank, no one's given ranks. He says that the advanced team is neutralized and the outer gate is compromised and the armored may appear at any time. He opens with like all of the most demoralizing things you can. Oh, I said during the episode that I thought he was talking about the same people, like the vanguard, but he was talking about the advanced team, so that's like the people I assume that were in front of the gate or on top of the gate shooting the cannons, which is different from the vanguard. But our objective is to defend Wall Rose until it's evacuated, and desertion is punishable by death. I commented that it'd be very easy to desert because you can, with your gear, you can just kind of like fly away. This order kind of reminds me of the Stalin Order 277, not a step back in the defense of Stalingrad, and I think outside Moscow in like Rzhev. It seemed very reminiscent of that Soviet kind of thing. And this guy doesn't seem very competent. I mean, he's absolutely the opposite of inspiring. And so perhaps this guy being in charge is why the defense has gone so poorly so far, and that Pixis is out. Then Jean asks what is on my mind. Why today? I'm just like, same. We have Krista comforting Daz, so she's kind of seen as this motherly figure again. There's extremely low morale, but Aaron steps in. He's like doing the other guy's job for him. We've gone through three years of training. We can do one more day. And then Mikasa and Aaron have their confrontation. And Mikasa is ignored by Aaron again, like twice I think in the same moment. but then Eren says like one thing and she like okay agrees to it, and she gets reassigned to the elites. But she like makes a really good point that plans never survive first contact. Her last words to him are "Please don't die." Like of all the death flags, also that's like the last thing to say to someone. Oof, like your family member. Thanks. Then we have this like flashback classroom Titan lecture. Looked like they were younger, where it's relaying info given to us by the Survey Corps. So we don't know the Titan origin, but they're not intelligent and they don't communicate. They have no sexual organs. They're mostly males or androgynous, I guess. They have no sexual organs, but they have extremely high body temperatures. If you think that the Titans are like zombie-like disease, like a disease that's spread, then you'd think that there would be like half female and half males. So I think that kind of gets ruled out by this. And the extremely high body temperature kind of reminded me of that Will Smith zombie movie. What's it called? Sam the Dog. I Am Legend. That's the one. I think the zombies in that have like high body temperatures. They're like almost like vampires. They like have their own society or something. There's something like this in I Am Legend. Maybe there's a parallel there. And the Titans' only interest is in humans and to kill humans. They don't care about other animals. And then it says this 100 years devoid of humans. Presumably, if there's no humans out there, then they're not eating, so then they don't have to eat. I mean, there's like a whole other bunch of reasons that could explain that. Either, you know, there's other humans out there, like other farms. It could be that their metabolisms are just like really slow and they can wait 100 years. I feel like there are other reasons that could be believable. And it seems like they don't really know for sure. They're just kind of like, he says assuming. I don't think he certainly knows for certain. And then also there's this line of canon since antiquity. Antiquity is like, you know, ancient world. So does that mean since like year 0 we've had cannons? So like 850 years ago? I'm thinking this technological timescale is very different from our own. So I'd like more on that. And then we figure out that the Titans can regenerate their whole head in 1 or 2 minutes. So it's not like just that they're zombies, but they're like regenerating zombies. But for some reason the neck, sufficient neck damage prevents the regeneration and they die. I'm like, I can't think of like one good reason that's the, why is that the weak spot? And also, how do you figure out that that's the weak spot? Did the Survey Corps just keep, I don't even know, like someone must have just gotten lucky and killed one by hitting it in the neck somehow. But I don't know, this is like, it's so wild. Like so random, right? The back of the neck. Maybe if cannons hit the neck, does it like, you like blow out the neck? Does it kill it? Maybe that's how they figured it out. I don't know. It's like, that seems like the only plausible explanation, I guess. Unless they like, maybe they captured some Titans somehow. I don't know. I feel like if they're like super hot, they'd probably melt things or start things on fire, maybe. You try to capture them. I don't know. Alright, and then we have the final part, the battle with Team 34. That's such a random thing. They're not like grouped into a company or platoon. They presumably don't really have a commander because they're just kind of sent off by those 2 people who are, I guess, in charge. They've got like binoculars or magnifying looking glass, whatever it was. But they don't get any garrison members in their squad. Like sending all the green people without any experienced members is like asking for disaster. And I mentioned that in the beginning, that unit rotation, when you move a whole unit into the line, all the troops are green at the same time, higher casualties. And it's exactly what we saw. On the rewatch, we kind of see Eren's optimism is getting mixed in with his arrogance that we've seen from episode 3 and episode 4. But so this optimism with the arrogance is kind of toxic and makes everyone overconfident. But I'm really confused because they're just like kind of running forward, like really fast. Like, where are they going? Where are the other people fighting? There's no front line. It's just like a smattering of groups. You send them in a few at a time to die piecemeal. I don't know. It seems like it doesn't seem like there's any organization to it, which is kind of baffling if they've had 5 years to prepare. Maybe this is the breakdown of command without Commander Pixis. I don't know. Then we have this thing called an aberrant. It looks like a normal Titan, but it can jump, and it was like, I think it was sitting on a rooftop or something, and that's how they noticed it, and then it like jumped like a grasshopper or something. And yeah, it's not like sinewy, so I don't think it's special, but it is like given this aberrant name. And I think it's an aberrant, so like this is not unknown to them. This is kind of like a classification for all the weird Titans. But I think that's the first one we've seen that can like jump and climb. Did it learn these things? So the Titans are not intelligent, right? But they seem to be able to do fairly intelligent things like predict the paths of people and intercept them. That's kind of like a complex task in and of itself. I don't know. But we see Eren is like, once he sees that Thomas dies, food miner number 2 to die, Eren becomes very rattled and reverts back to his arrogant, furious self that he supposedly has moved on from in the scene with John and Eren when they fight about Survey Corps and military police, and he like throws John on the ground. Eren's supposed to be past this phase, but he's like flies into a rage. So maybe he had moved past this, but he's just like super rattled, so he kind of reverts. I don't know. And then we have Armin, like shell shocked that everyone who's dead, and he can't move. And then we have this flashback. So Armin's grandpa had a book about the outside world that they're not supposed to have, and the military police arrest people for having these, which is kind of confusing to me because I'm like thinking of the military police as like a royal guard, but they're in Giganshina in that flashback. I'm like, where else would they be? So the military police like send people all the way out here? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of also a callback to episode 1. Armin says something about the outside is taboo. I think the government says the outside is taboo. But this is kind of taking it like one step further. It's not taboo, it's illegal, the outside information. So the government strictly controls what people know about the outside, but they sanction the Survey Corps going outside. Kind of seems contradictory. Anyway, in the book there's oceans, lava, glaciers, desert, and they're surprised at oceans, so our walls are landlocked, which I mean, it makes sense. Oh, and then Armin mentions that his mom and dad are going beyond the wall soon, and we know from episode 3, I think that's episode 3, when Armin says that his parents died. So his parents died sometime before 8:45 because they didn't get on the boat with the grandpa, so they're dead before then. If the outside is illegal, unless you're Survey Corps, and his parents are not Survey Corps, but they're like apprehended or something, they killed? Maybe they found out about the book because Armin's talking about it to people, the military police. But yeah, I don't know. Weird. And then finally, the last part of the episode, Mikasa turns around, and we have the ending credits, which is her alone in a forest of bloody knives. And I think that symbolism to me means like all of her dead comrades, and she's the only one left standing. And then at the end, we see Eren walking up to her, but I think that's kind of like her memory of him. So I think it's plausible that she's the new protagonist, because we've been with her as long as we've been with Eren and Armin too. Yeah. Moving on to the goals. Goal number 1, priority number 1, survive the day and complete the evacuation. That's essentially everyone. Mikasa might have to get a new goal now because her family's dead. God, that feels so weird to say. It's so cold. What are the Special Titans goals? Killing the humans and disabling the walls. Maybe this like magic thing, I don't know. There's a goal that's been lingering in my notes for a while, which is the key in the basement. There was a lot that went into this key. The flashback sequence, the emphasis in episode 1. So I think the key just can't be given up. And I think Mikasa is the only person alive who knows about the key. So to get the key back, if we do get it back, they have to find Eren's body. So they somehow win the battle, kill all the Titans, then search through all of the Titans' bodies until they find Eren's body and get the key. But she'd have to like tell people for that to happen. Seems kind of like a stretch. But I don't know. It's possible that the Survey Corps coming back is like Gandalf and the Rohirrim coming to save Trost's Deep, Helm's Deep. Or maybe Grisha's finally gonna have like a big reveal, because yeah, still that dream sequence or memory sequence with the syringe. What did the syringe even do for Eren? Like, is that what allowed him to move after losing a leg? I don't know, superior fortitude. Moving on to conflicts, we have the fight for Trost. Again, why today? I think I talked about that already. Why haven't they moved the boulder? And I think they do know that the shells, cannon shells, cannot pierce the armored titan, because otherwise I don't think they would call it the armored titan. So I think someone must have lived who had saw those not fail to pierce. And final conflict, I think, a little bit expanded on, possibly some revolutionaries, the Marquis and the classism kind of supports that French Revolution idea. All right, themes. All right, show, we get it. Humans are weak, the Titans are strong. It's like mega double down. I was kind of 50-50 going into it, and definitely we're getting that theme back again in full force. And the cattle thing, like I was very much right. All the people who are compared to food are DED, dead. So I was kind of thinking there was kind of like a new trio kind of forming in my mind of the empowered, proficient female characters that kind of seem quite similar in a lot of ways, which is Mikasa, Annie, and Sasha, where I don't know, they all kind of have the same physical proficiency, it seems, like in varying degrees. I don't know, maybe that's like a new trio. Maybe. Also, maybe there's something like a Jean redemption, because he's been kind of set up as like a rival to Eren, kind of like in Pokemon, your rival. So his rival dying, maybe he'll assume some of the qualities that Eren had, like take up Eren's mantle, so to speak. And then the final thing is the dreams, memories, divinity kind of theme. So last episode, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin were like wishing upon a shooting star. And the shooting star is often like a symbol of divinity. My thinking that Eren is like this promised child, being the only one who's kind of pushing against the grain, kind of seems, and like people are turning around to follow him, kind of seems very like Jesus-like, and the people following him are like becoming his apostles in a way. So like resurrection on the third day, I don't know. I think that's one way we could get the key back, I guess. So in closing, to wrap up, where is Hannes? Isn't he like a captain? So like he'd be commanding in some capacity? And what is the rank of the guy who gave that awful speech to the recruits? Is Hannes like above him, or I guess below him? What's Hannes up to? I don't know. So for next episode, we're gonna probably see, I would imagine Mikasa faces the death of her last two family members, and possibly Armored Titan Round 2, and I guess the fates of all of our other side characters. But I think that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any feedback for me, leave it in the comments below. If you liked it, like it, and if you haven't, please subscribe. Please. Yeah, anyway. I'll see you next time. An episode.